What's going on, guys? Ryan Nelson here, and this is part 7 of a short series helping you film from home using just your iPhone and hopefully other items that you have laying around the house. Now, we've built up on these skills over the weeks, so if you haven't watched parts 1 through 6 yet, I highly recommend going back and watching those, catching up, and then you'll be right where we're at today. And today's not necessarily more about skills, just more about checking in with you and seeing how you're doing through this whole process. I know this can be very intimidating, it can seem overwhelming at first, but I just wanted to see where you guys are in this process. I'd love to see if you've come up with something, if you started a YouTube channel, if you've just started LinkedIn marketing, no matter what it is, I'd love to see what you're coming up with and how you're using these techniques that I'm helping you with to create your own videos to see what you're coming up with. So, how are you doing with this? I'm curious, I really am. I hope this is helping you out. I hope you're finding some value in this. And I'm just curious about your questions. What have I not covered? What about your specific scenario makes this filming process different? What can I help you with? That's what I'm here for. I want to help you guys do what you need to do to get your message out into the world. Now, before we go today, I wanted to share another editing technique with you, editing on your iPhone, being able to drop images or videos of what you're talking about on top of your video in iMovie. So let's dive right into that. And I'll show you how to add B-roll on top of your videos while you're talking to add more interest to your videos and then help the viewer understand more of what you're talking about. So let's dive into that. So in this video, I was doing a comparison between a GoPro and a knockoff $20 GoPro from Amazon. So obviously I'm going to want to show the cameras that I'm talking about, and then we call that B-roll. So B-roll is just supplemental footage or backup footage, not your main footage. So we're going to have a talking head, which is me here talking, and then the B-roll is going to be the shots of the cameras or the shots that I've done with the cameras that I'm going to overlay on top of me talking about these cameras and working with these cameras. It is also a great way to hide mistakes and or cuts in your video. So here's an easy way to drop that in. So right here, you can see I've made a cut in my video. So if I want to add some B-roll on top of that, it's actually pretty easy. So I'm going to scroll just before that cut, maybe even just before I blink. So I'm going to go right there. And then I'm going to hit this plus button over here. So I'm going to select the B-roll of my camera footage over here. And then instead of just adding the plus to add that in there, I'm going to go over here and hit the 3 dots and add it as a cutaway. So that's going to drop that right on top of my footage. So when I play that back, I'm talking, then it cuts to the B-roll of the GoPros, and then it covers up that cut. And then if that footage is too long, we can hit pause here, tap that little bit of footage, it highlights in yellow. And then we can actually just tap and drag the end of that to cut that footage down just a little bit. So now if we go back and we hit play, it's going to cut to the B-roll, get that camera, and then cuts right back to me talking. So I hid that cut, I hid that mistake, and you actually get to see the product I'm talking about. So it's a really effective way to add more depth to your footage and also hide some mistakes that you may have made or just hide cuts. So one more quick tip before we go today. If you want to add a black end screen on the end of your video, just go ahead and scroll all the way to the end. And then before we actually add the black video, we have to create the black video. So go to your camera and then you're going to swipe up to your video, and then you're just going to set your phone down on a flat surface and record for 10 to 20 seconds. Now, in-screen animations in YouTube are 20 seconds long. So I've been doing 10 seconds. You can do anywhere from 10 to 20. You can actually do any length you want. But now that we have that video recorded, we're going to go back to iMovie, go back to the end. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to add a video, and then we're going to select that. And then we're just actually going to plus that right in there. So we're going to change that transition to none. So we're going to edit the end of that clip to where my hand covers the lens. It goes black. Then we're going to go back and boop, goes right to the black screen. So if we go select some text here, we can add a call to action and say subscribe, done. And then that gives you a black end screen with a subscribe. And then on YouTube, you can add your little end screen animation there with your subscribe button and add another video on there as well. and it gives just more professional look to your whole video. All right, I hope this helps. All right, guys, well, that's gonna wrap up this series. I really hope this helps you out, get started with your video marketing. I do want to do a couple of follow-ups based on your questions, so do me a huge favor, put your questions, your comments down there in the comments. If you like this video, do me a huge favor again, hit that thumbs up button down there, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time.